They wanted to get Chewbacca back to his planet to celebrate what holiday?
Is it a real holiday or is it?
I'm going to say Chanukah.
Hey everybody, welcome to our show, our little Christmas gift to you. We're going to talk about some of the television, movie, and Christmas songs that were important to our Gen X childhood. John McClane, Hans Gruber.
I like that.
Okay, that may be challenged.
Yep, kick the debate off right away.
Right.
So here we are, friends. I tell you what, so if you're playing at home, we're going to dial up National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and I will tell you when to push play. We might actually make comments on the what's on the screen as we go through today's show. And so if you push play at the same time we push play, then you can see what we're making comments about. So the movies, music, and television shows of our childhood were really important because during this holiday season, you only got one shot at them. Until the advent of the VCR, you had to be in front of the television the same night that Charles Schultz's Peanuts Christmas was on, or any of the other episodes we're going to talk about. Same thing with the Christmas music, unless your family had the vinyl album. If there was a Christmas song you liked on the radio, you just got to hear it on the radio until the recordable cassette came along, and then you could enjoy it that way. So these were really important one-time-a-year things that came on, and movies were a little bit more accessible, but only on television. And I'm sure we'll probably talk about one television show or one movie that didn't become accessible until it became a television show. So, Brad, how you doing?
Doing great.
John?
Yeah.
Very good.
I will tell you, we had a wonderful spread on the last pod. John brought in shrimp. He also included this cocktail sauce.
The St. Elmo's Fire.
St. Elmo's Fire made with probably the hottest horseradish I've ever had in my life. It takes your breath away.
Cleans the sinuses.
I wonder,
no question.
Like the first time that somebody made that, it's like, oh yeah, no, this is going to sell.
Well, and it's interesting because it is obviously famous at St. Elmo's Steakhouse in Indianapolis, which is a very high-end steakhouse. And it's not exactly a palate cleanser or anything before you have a very expensive steak dinner. It blasts the senses, but it's obviously something that's become famous there.
Yeah.
My guess is like it's kind of the Malort of cocktails. Yep. And let somebody try it before they order their water or their drink.
Right.
So as we kick off this episode, we oftentimes recap what we've done. Obviously, the movie-making magic here, we're recording kind of back-to-back episodes, so we don't have much of a recap. But there is something that happened in our bar crawl that we mentioned that I wanted to bring up. Brad had an experience recently where somebody recognized him by voice.
I think.
Well, then they say,
yes.
I knew you from somewhere. You're the voice from the podcast.
Yeah.
That would be recognizing you by voice.
The dulcet tones.
I was at a farewell dinner for my wife's colleague who was retiring from the lab after 40 years, and the guy who ran the lab, maybe you guys know him. His first name is Steve. I can't remember his last name. But he was heavy in scouting. Makes the pancake breakfast for one of the scout or optimist activities. And so I was talking about the optimist, maybe talking about getting my tree. And then we were talking about John's Grocery, and he knows Doug Albrowski well. I talked about having done a podcast there. He goes, that's where I recognized your voice.
Right.
And Stephanie looked at me like, whoa, this is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times people on the wild recognize Brad by the hair. They remember that they've seen that hair before, but
dreamy hair.
This is the voice. It's fantastic.
And then the musk that he just automatically sheds off.
And then Brad, he's taking a selfie with the guy signing autographs. He's obviously emerged as really the showpiece, the show pony of this episode.
Show pony.
My mother always told me I had a face for radio.
All right. Well, hey, if you are playing along with this, get ready to push play on Vacation. 3, 2, 1. And here we go. National Lampoon's Vacation. All right. So, as I mentioned, movies, television shows, and music that went along with our childhood is really impactful. Even to this day, a lot of what we saw first run as children is still kind of considered canon as far as what our kids enjoy and reference. People still make reference to it. What we've done is we've taken our top 5 movies that we have to see every year. We're going to talk a little bit about it. Brad, what did you have as your number one?
Number one movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll get into this, and there's a reason for it, but like Christmas Vacation, which is currently playing, is probably my number one Christmas movie, and for obvious reasons with my family, which we'll probably get into.
John?
My number one was Christmas Carol. There's many versions out there. I'm actually partial to Scrooge, 1951 Alistair Sim version.
Right. And mine was a Christmas Carol 2, which was the 1935 version that had Seymour Hick. You know, it's probably one of the best redemption stories. One of my favorite redemption stories, anyway. Charles Dickens, his dad spent time in pauper's prison. So in England, if you owed people money, which was really easy to do, even if you ordered a little bit, that person could call your debt at any time. And so Dickens spent large chunks of time without his dad, and that was kind of, I don't know, an acknowledgement to the wealthy.
And a powerful line in the movie: "Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?"
Yeah. So I mean, it was a statement when it was written. It was a statement to the elite and wealthy. So John, you've got kind of a special place in your heart for this, don't you?
I do. Yeah, like a lot of things. I think it's what you get exposed to as a kid. As a very, very young child, we went to California to visit my grandparents for Christmas one year, and they took me to a traveling Broadway version of Christmas Carol, and it just fascinated me seeing it on stage like that with all the special effects and the story. So I became a fan of it at an unorthodox young age, probably for a movie like that.
Yeah.
And started watching it every year. I was probably like 8-9 years old when I started collecting the pieces, the Department 56 Village pieces, which I've got about a portion of my collection on display behind us. But I would get one every single year for Christmas for many years. Ironically, the very second one I got was the police station, which was probably some dramatic foreshadowing for what would happen in my career in law enforcement. But anyway, so yeah, I've been a fan of it for many, many years. We had a long-standing family tradition of taking the kids to Minneapolis. There's a very famous production every year at Guthrie Theater of Christmas Carol and Holidazzle Parade. Unfortunately, through the years, Holidazzle went away, and then COVID, we haven't been up there for a few years. But yes, we've always been Christmas Carol buffs in our family.
So you're actually going to do something I think is absolutely awesome here in a couple weeks.
I am. I'm actually really excited. I have a work trip coming up this week to London, and we are going to West End to see Christmas Carol in the Old Victorian Theater, kind of in the original setting, and it's in the round, and it's supposed to be immersive with the cast characters and stuff. So I'm, actually looking forward to it. It's the last night we're there, so it's kind of the end of the work trip before we come home. So it'll be a fun event and something I'm looking forward to.
Best part about it, no fake British accents.
Yeah, exactly. All authentic. Maybe hopefully I can understand everything.
Do you have a favorite part of the movie you like?
No, not necessarily. I kind of like the whole tale as it unfolds. I guess as a kid, I always kind of gravitated towards the Ghost of Christmas Present and the big flamboyant character, and all the magical and mystical stuff that happens during that segment of the movie. But I like the whole story. My wife and family members will tell you the Poulter and the scene at the end where he sends the kid, because that is a piece of the village that had went missing for a couple of years. So it's kind of a running joke in the family. When I put it up the other night, I had to take a picture that the Poulter was found again this year and put on display. So that little snippet of the movie always gets a lot of play in our family just because of the history of the display.
You kind of have trounced around the area where Dickens kind of grew up, right? And that Poulter's...
I did. So I, a couple years ago, was over in London and took my daughter with me. She was a good sport, but I had kind of seeked out a lot of the things that inspired the writing. So we went to what is believed to be Scrooge's flat, went to the original building that housed the accounting house of Scrooge and Marley, and several sites like that. So it was kind of fun. And we did a little self-guided Christmas story tour in Camden Town.
I love the fact that there are parts of London that are so old that are still there, that weren't necessarily damaged too much by World War II, that you can still say, all right, Dickens lived here, and this is a house here that was opulent, and right here is a Poulter. Like, if he did come out of his porch.
Funny you mentioned that. The Poulter, the location where there was a very famous like poultry butcher shop. It's in a little market that was later used to film Diagon Alley for Harry Potter and the particular rounded storefront where he gets his wand. So when we went there to this market in the middle of kind of a rough area of London, just because I wanted to see where the Poulter was, as we approach it, there's a line of people in wizard outfits and stuff waiting to get their picture taken at this little nondescript rounded storefront that was a Harry Potter site.
This crossover, you thought, oh, look at all these people that are here for the Dickens stop, and like, oh no, the Potter people.
Yep, exactly.
Potters.
So yeah, that's my Christmas Carol story.
So, Brad, that impact you at all, Christmas Carol?
You know, it's interesting. I'm sitting here, and I know you guys both have big love for it. And
Yeah.
honestly, I remember seeing the Washington County, or sort of the Washington Community Theater production of it.
Yeah.
So I saw it as a kid, like on the local stage. But in terms of watching the movie on TV wasn't really a thing. Same with like It's a Wonderful. I'm just looking at my list, and I have a feeling you guys are going to go deep into the standards that like
The old school stuff? Not totally,
and
but
I feel like the unwashed cretin amongst us, because in the Dunlap house, like there were not that many.
are you learning for the first time right now that the Christmas Carol is not a Muppet deal? Was Gonzo alive in 1951?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were. My list of movies is much more like contemporary things that like have meaning to me because it has to do with my kids.
Yeah.
Not so
Sure.
much. My parents were not movie buffs. We didn't go to movies, and we didn't watch a lot of television together. And similarly with my grandparents. So like when you're talking about.
We're watching Christmas Vacation here.
Yeah.
You're at the point where Brad is taking his tree home with all the roots and all on top of his Volkswagen.
Right.
That section of the movie
Clark.
was filmed on the 2-lane highway between Frisco and Breckenridge in Colorado, which you'll notice the mountains in the background in what's supposed to be Illinois.
Here comes Margo and Brad and their Saab.
Later, when he slides down the sled and crashes,
This is great.
It's the Walmart on Main Street in Frisco, Colorado.
This is Todd and Margo getting out of their Saab
yes.
Todd.
with their shiny briefcases, which we procured for, I think they're called Halliburton briefcases, perhaps.
Yeah.
So we did this scene as part of family tradition that the Dunlaps have done.
Saab is such a yuppie car of yesteryear. They had a good run there in the late 80s.
Boy, Todd and Margo are. Julie Louise-Dreyfus is wearing her sunglasses at night.
Yeah. Got the full length kind of wool trench
Yeah.
overcoats, winter coats, and the scarf. And yeah, anyway.
Her name is.
Which one are we talking? Which actress?
This
Yeah,
is
Beverly
Beverly
D'Angelo,
D'Angelo. Yeah. Who's the guy who plays Rusty? I had his name.
Do you know who
He's-
auditioned for the role of Rusty in this movie and did not get it? Was Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, no kidding.
They didn't
Wow.
think he had like the comedic sense or feel, so they went with a different actor.
What the hell is he wearing for pajamas? Are those dinosaurs?
Yeah.
They are dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Brad wore those pajamas to the Iowa-Nebraska game last year at
Yeah.
GenX Stadium.
And this again, we're detailing too much, but this is the scene where in the pajamas after Clark had brought in the oversized tree, he gets a lot of sap on his fingers. He's flipping through a People magazine, which actually never existed because this is a prop we used for our reenactment of this scene. We got the sheets, I have those pillowcase covers, I have those pajamas. Stephanie got an approximation of what she's wearing, but this People magazine did not exist. The gentleman on the cover of it, I think, is part of the movie. He's either a producer or a writer or a director or something like that. And so I had to have, I had spent a little time with an advertising agency, and I sent them this screenshot of it, and we made up this People magazine, and we used because I don't think there were available pictures of this gentleman that were easy to find, but he looks a lot like the guy who was accused of I think it was the and so on my version of the People magazine, we've kind of mocked that up. We have the wintergreen ad on the back. Yeah. So we got into the details of trying to get the closest thing we could to the look of that People magazine.
All right, so let's put a pause on the movie. So
Okay.
if you're watching from home, you're going to pause. 3, 2, 1.
At
pause.
the advent calendar, we're
All right,
pausing.
yeah, so
Okay.
we're looking at the advent calendar. So for those that are listening, we have got to tell you what Brad is talking about here. So this might be one of my very favorite new Christmas traditions that has happened to me within the past 5 or so years. Brad and his family take one scene out of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation every year, and the family initially reenacted it with a single picture.
Yeah, at first. That's how it started.
Well, Brad,
Yeah.
why don't you just tell us?
Yeah, it's interesting because I was saying earlier before we started the pod, like I had mentioned, we didn't watch as a family. The Dunlaps didn't get around the television and watch Christmas Vacation. We I'm sure each of my brothers and I have seen it through the years. But how this kind of thing kicked off was I got to give the credit to my brother Brian, who just did a simple thing. He bought the Wally World Moose mugs. That's that everybody who's seen the movie knows the scene where, you know, cousin Eddie and Clark are having eggnog and they have this conversation. And so my brother thought it would be fun to just bring those to our family Christmas Eve. And he showed up with them and he sent me a note. I was living in Chicago at the time. And he says, hey, if you can find something that looks kind of like the dickie and the sweater that cousin Eddie wears, I've got an approximation of the Clark ugly sweater, the sweater he's wearing. So we didn't go super authentic. We thought, oh, we'll just put some nog in the moose mugs and take a picture by the Christmas tree. And that's what we did. I got a turtleneck shirt and I cut it off to make it look like a dickie. I got a tight-fitting white sweater. It wasn't really great. It was even what do you call it? Cardigan. Thank you, Mr. Rogers style. So not totally authentic to what actually is worn in the movie. And my brother went a little heavier. He came in with the sewer pipe and he did the cousin Eddie, which everybody knows that scene with the shitter's full moment, right?
Right.
So my youngest brother Brent did that. So we did I'll call it super casual, and those scenes don't happen. You know, the Clark and Eddie scene that does work together, but then we had a second Eddie, so we didn't really try to totally mock up a scene per se, but we just did this photograph, and then from there each year it kind of built. So it's evolved to, I think we're on year 13 or 14 now of having done this. And we have, with the help of our kids, you know, they've taken stills from the film and then we have studied those stills and we have done a still photograph side by side so you can see what was in the movie and the costume, the posing, the lighting, the venue, the props. And so we started to do that. And for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years, we just did these still side by sides. And then of late, we've kind of moved into a little bit of more live action. So we did a scene, I couldn't even tell you exactly how many scenes, but we've got costume and props for probably over a dozen different moments in the film. And we've added in TikTok, like voiceover and done various things. So it's become this thing that I think there was no intention. That first Christmas when Brian brought the moose mugs, we didn't know what it was going to become. But now, like almost every member of the family, including my parents, including my wife, to her great dismay, sometimes when I'm asking her to put on a nightie and it's going to be blasted
this
out.
Red swimsuit, go hit the diving board.
She did the can't see the lines, can you, Russ? Deal. And so we've pulled in my nephew and my nieces, and like I said, my parents and my brothers and their wives. We've done some pretty elaborate ones, and so it's just become kind of like this. It's a big part of our Dunlap family. And the thing is, like, my grandparents are both gone, my Uncle Dean's gone, so it's really my parents, my brothers and their kids, and that's who gets together. And so we've made it a component of the evening, and sometimes it involves rearranging my mom's house to suit the scene. Sometimes it involves us driving down to Sunset Park at the end of the street that I live on and like shooting like that Todd and Margot scene. We shot that in a park. We've gone to the local Washington Walmart to do the dog food scene, which was one of the first times we went kind of off-site from my parents' place. So it's just become like this thing that we all rally around. We talk about, what scene are we going to do this year? Do we have the right costume? Do we have the right props? Do we have the right scene? Do we have the right participants? Because the other thing that gets a little complicated is not every year we have the whole tribe with us. So my youngest brother, Brent, who lives in Chicago, he's an every other year Christmas attender. So we have to do the bigger scenes when Brent and his family, he's got 4 kids. Right. That's when we can do the more elaborate multi-participant type scenes. This particular Christmas, he's not going to be there. So it's just going to be Brian and his family, me and my family and my parents. So we have to kind of choose what we try to pull off based on the cast we can work with. But the production value has gone up over time because my brother Brian's daughter is studying graphic design at we have to say Iowa State, which I know isn't a popular thing to say for the listeners in the Iowa City area.
Right. She's thinking about transferring this week.
She's super talented talented, and her sister also kind of has this design background, and Natalie works for Iowa Public Radio, so she does a lot of stuff with multimedia, and so there's some talent among the younger generation who've taken our production value up over time.
100%.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the you could tell when the kids totally got immersed in this was that when you did the shot for shot scene of the meal.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to say the adults couldn't have pulled it off, but it wouldn't have looked as good as it did that the kids got in there. All right. Hey, let's go ahead and if you're watching from home, we're at the Advent calendar scene in 3, 2, 1, play. So, no, Brad, it's absolutely fascinating. When do you guys decide what scene you're going to do?
Usually around Thanksgiving is when we try to lock it in. And every year, it's gotten more and more involved. And so we'll have discussions that evening. Like, okay, what could we potentially do next? But then we don't really take anything. Here's a scene.
Pause. Hey, so listen, Brad needs two things. We're looking at the scene right now where they're in the office. Brad needs a Tasmanian devil mug.
Yes.
That does not cost him $500. So it's the Tasmanian mug to redo this scene here.
Part of the reason, so people often ask me, how do you come up with the scenes that you select? You're kind of asking that, Ray. You ask when. It's usually on Thanksgiving we lock it, so we know we've gotten from Thanksgiving to Christmas Eve to kind of figure out everything. But the how we select, a lot of it has to do with the characters, the costume, and the backdrop. So this scene is an iconic scene that we're looking at right now where Mr. Shirley's coming down the hall in a fairly contemporary looking office space with poinsettias in the background. Everybody's in business wear. It's a lot of men. We have 3 Dunlap brothers and 1 nephew. Yeah. Right. And the rest are all nieces. So to pull this off that we're looking at right now, which is like there's about 10 men in suits.
Right.
That'd be a little bit challenging for us.
Right.
And also the backdrop, like this wouldn't work well in my parents' house. So we've now talked about to pull some of these scenes off, we might have to go on location somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
And so what's been holding us up is we haven't had the right venue. We might be able to do it at my place of employment with a new building right now, Civco in Coralville. And then the mug is so central to this, the Tasmanian Devil mug. And we've looked for it online. To get the real one is pretty pricey. You can get some facsimiles of it, but we're in search of that.
What I think is amazing is all of this started off with those glass Marty Moose
those
mugs.
Simple Marty Moose mugs, yeah.
And probably in the grand scheme of things, that picture that you took of the Eddies, like the glass mugs probably kind of went unnoticed with all the other stuff that was like the hat and the shorty robe and the everything.
The sewer pipe,
So you have a little brush with greatness here.
Now we're moving on to the scene where Clark is out shopping. He's Christmas shopping. He's in a department store and he's in kind of like the lingerie counter, which actually this looks more like a perfume counter than like a lingerie spot. But this is where he has the encounter with Mary. And I will just, as a side note, I was telling the gentleman before we went on the pod, small world thing. My brother Brian, who started this, school teacher in Fairfield, one of his best buddies that he went to high school with, school teacher in I think it's South Carolina, winds up meeting and working with the actress who plays Mary in this scene.
Right.
And he just texted me a picture of her. I think she was a language teacher or language assistant at this school. I think she's retired now.
Sam Kinison in the background.
What's that?
So that woman looks like Sam Kinison in the background. So the person selling the lingerie is wearing kind of like a cardigan, and it appears, although she is selling lingerie, she is not wearing any. And
one of the most famous scenes is the ending scene here, where he has this long exchange with this gal in the lingerie section, and she's showing him gifts for his wife, his girlfriend, and he kind of gets flustered and acts like he doesn't have a wife or doesn't have a girlfriend. But she's showing that there's no line, so she's like lifting up her skirt and showing like her hip, and that there's no line, and that's when his son walks up, Russ, and it's the "Can't see the lines, can you, Russ?" And then he realizes here it is.
It is amazing how much that woman in the background looked like Sam Kinison.
I know,
I've never seen that before.
No, that's all. I can't take my eyes off it. Every time I see her, it's like, there's Sam Kinison. There's Sam Kinison. There's Sam Kinison.
This is it. So what is this actor's name? He's in
that's not the Gordecki kid.
Yes, Jack.
That's the Big Bang kid?
Yeah.
No, it's not. I refuse to believe that.
It is. Look it up. It totally is.
Well, I will tell you, I love the fact that they never use the same kids. The kids are always different.
Yeah.
So, John, what did you say about why is the reason that they're watching It's a Wonderful Life?
The associate producer, I believe it is, of Christmas Vacation, his grandfather was the producer of It's a Wonderful Life, so that's a little homage to his grandfather, I believe was the relation, and that's why it's on the TV screen in the background in the house.
Man, this is such a
We've got that exact flannel that he's wearing.
Yeah,
that
Woolrich
bathroom
flannel.
That bathroom would be hard to do. That pink bathroom that he was just in while he's putting on his Santa garb.
I think one of the girls are going to have to date a CGI person. That's going to make your life whole much easier if you can bring a CGI person into your family.
Absolutely. Now, Natalie's got very mixed feelings on using AI and faking things. She wants it to, she's against it.
Right.
So she would violently object to doing too much.
She's so against. She's the one that's against our thumbnail on our.
Oh, she's mad about it. She's like, Dad, this is just a really dumb. Your podcast photo. You made AI do it. You gotta fix that. All right.
Oh man.
But this scene at the door we've talked about. We have not done this one yet, and it wouldn't be too hard to do. It's just a lot of outerwear to source.
So I can get you that hat on the left.
Okay.
It's the exact hat's in my closet right now. So tell me, what's the council that has the final say of what the scene's going to be?
I would say it comes down to, most years it kind of comes down to Brian and I. My brother, Brian, who really started this whole thing. And honestly, I give him a lot of credit because he does a lot of the legwork to get the props. And so we are always there. We're there year in and year out. Brent is in and out, the one that lives in Chicagoland. So it's usually Brian and I that finally make the call.
Well, it's interesting that your dad doesn't have the final say in it.
No.
And so are people on the lookout all the time for little things that...
If we know we need something, yes. So, for example, we did this scene, those who know the movie, remember when Clark gets trapped, they all go out shopping, and Clark gets trapped in the attic, and they leave him there, and he's locked up there, and he has to put on a fur coat.
Yeah.
And so we had an ambitious idea to shoot that scene, but shoot him. The poignant moment of that scene is him watching. He finds family movies in the attic. Then there just happens to be a projector up there, and he's playing them in the attic while he's waiting for everyone to come back and find him. And so that was a prop. Like, we put out the all points bulletin. Can you get a projector? Can you get reel to reel images? Because we wanted to actually show a projector spinning. We wanted to show film going through it, and then we panned and did the whole scene of him watching the film. So in that instance, we were like, hey, all points bulletin to go find some of those props. So we'll do that. When it comes to the outfits, what we'll typically do is the person who's going to play the character is kind of responsible for trying to get as many of the props as possible. But Brian always takes a very front and center role in trying to find things through internet searches and so forth.
I'm just absolutely amazed at the fact the details you guys go through in order to pull off a scene. I mean, down to the turban that you wore and the gloves and that attic scene.
Yeah, the fur coat.
Yeah.
That was...
You know where you should go. Have you been to Artifacts before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, that's where I think we got some of the film. So there's a moment when he pulls out a bunch of film canisters out of a box. Yeah. So we had to have a number of them kind of stacked up. And so we bought a bunch of them. We got them at Artifacts actually. Yeah, they had them. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what, we're going to keep on watching this show, and we am probably coming back to your...
I was just literally doing this around my woodshed. He's stapling the lights.
If you need one of those watches, I got that watch too.
That's a very specific stapler. He's got that all kind of stainless steel looking.
Is it
one.
A Craftsman?
I don't know, but I don't have anything close to that. But this hat, by the way, the Chicago Bears sewn on wool hat.
Yeah.
Those aren't easy to find online. So what my brother did was he took it to, you go to the mall, right? And they have those hat places where you can have them make you a custom hat. Yeah. He actually had one of those made to that exact specification.
That is the exact same hat that George Wendt wore in Saturday Night Live for the Bears.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Chevy wears that hat in all the vacation movies at some point.
Yeah.
So we thought this is now the scene where they're prepping the meal, and that sweater is now available at Walmart.
Oh, really?
You probably remember growing up, girls in your class or mothers,
wore sweaters
people
like that.
who had that. So that was a very popular print. So I thought we'd find it at a Goodwill, at an Artifacts, at a thrift shop.
And now
But
it's
we
kinda
haven't.
easy to get
But
at.
now you can get it at Walmart. Interestingly.
All right. Should we move on? Brad, what was your number 2?
Well, I didn't put these again. I don't have the standards as you do.
Give me one that you liked a lot.
There's a movie called Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
It's become something that Stephanie and the girls and I watch annually. It
Right.
is classic.
It's I'm aware of it. It's one of, I think, Jana's favorites. It's got Reese Witherspoon in it.
Yes,
It does.
And
The
Robert Duvall's fantastic.
Robert
Powerful
Duvall
lineup.
Robert Duvall's great, and the brothers. Just that whole scene. Vince Vaughn's family scene is phenomenal. But the scene I like the most is when he's at the Reese Witherspoon character's home, and they go, and her mother is involved with a minister, and they do this whole nativity scene thing, and Vince Vaughn starts to ad lib.
Swaddle that baby.
Oh, I just love it. It's not Christmas
It's a
Carol
new
stuff.
school.
This is different.
It's a new school, but it's great comedy. And we're a Brady Bunch family, blended family. And so that can hit really
That
close
scenario.
to home. Our kids, I think probably it hits
Yeah.
for them because they've got 4 Christmases every year.
Yes.
Some of the components of each one plays
Yes.
out, I think, in real life. It's a great,
phenomenal.
great
it's a
show.
good movie.
John, what'd you have for your next?
My number 2 was Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big fan of that, and drives the kids nuts, but Christmas Eve, one of the TVs is on TBS for the 24 hours straight the entire time.
It's interesting because, first of all, I was just in Hobart, Indiana last night, which was the town that was the author grew up in, and it's kind of served as the idea, or his life experience as a kid. Now, most of the footage was shot in Cleveland,
Correct.
Ohio, and I think both you and I have been to the Christmas Story house before, right?
Yes, it's fantastic.
Brad, have you been there before?
I have not.
So the actual house and the neighborhood, for that matter, is still in Cleveland. You stand across the street and you can still see the steel factory behind the house. The Bumpkuses, their house is next door. The street itself is pretty much there, intact. The house itself, intact. They have went back and arranged it like the inside of the movie. So the outside of the house looks exactly like it. The inside of the house, wherever you see anything shot inside, was shot up in Canada. Anything where you see windows was shot in Cleveland. But they went through and kind of made the house look like the inside of the Canadian film sound stage. And if you have enough money, you can spend the night in the house.
That's a relatively new thing. I mean, the first time we were up there, I don't think it was served as an Airbnb or whatever they do with it now, but the detail inside is. Have you done the tour?
Yeah.
Inside? Yeah, it's spectacular. Right down to his essay with the grade on it on his bed
Yep.
and everything.
There's Lifebuoy up in the
Yep.
bathroom upstairs. There's a phone on the wall upstairs.
It's perfect. And then across the street, they've turned one of the houses into a museum with all the props and costumes and things from the
Cool.
movie. It's great. And so we hit it every time we're in Cleveland. The Hawks women's basketball team played in the Final Four there a couple years ago. I took my daughter to it. She enjoyed seeing it in person. I actually had to go to Cleveland a few weeks ago for work, and went about 20 minutes out of my way to drive by it on the way to the airport just to get a good glimpse to set the stage for the Christmas seasons. It is a time capsule. It looks just like it in the movie to this day.
So I have an interesting piece of history for that house. So when that house became available or up for sale, the guy wanted to buy it. He knew of it. They I think they shot it during the summer or at least the fall, and they had to bring in a bunch of powdered snow and they had to make it look like it was winter.
Yep.
And he kind of always had this want to buy this house because he saw it being filmed. And so what they did was they sold leg lamps to try to get money up for it. And I bought a leg lamp. I found out, which was one of the first 1,000 leg lamps that they sold to try to get money up to buy this house. I did not know that until I did a tour of the house. The guy was there, and I said, this is when I got my leg lamp. And he goes, "You got one of the original leg lamps." He goes, "We don't use those shoes anymore. We don't use those the netting on the legs anymore."
Yeah.
So I got into this big discussion. Yeah, so I bought one of the original legs that this guy used to get the money up to.
Do you mind if I interject?
Yeah.
Now that you're talking about the leg, and again, I don't even know if I've seen it start to finish, guys.
Really?
It's come on and I've watched a bit of it, but I don't know that I've watched. I don't think I've watched the whole thing. Maybe I have.
You should watch it start to finish this year because it really does have some really, and sometimes it's 2 or 3 watch it. There's so much hidden comedy and layers and nostalgia in it. Back really quick to Cleveland. Higbee's is in Cleveland. Sadly, the Chinese restaurant where they go for dinner, because we were going to dine there when Dean Scheifus and I were in town, and that is actually in Canada, not in Cleveland, so we didn't have a chance to go to Mr. Chop Suey. We kind of want to do that. And then my last nostalgic thing, and I almost have elevated Christmas Story to number 1 over Christmas Carol for this reason, but if you look over there under the Christmas tree, I have a Red Ryder BB gun.
Oh, yeah.
My dad,
I know that scene.
Loved how much of a fan of the movie I was. That was the last Christmas present I got from my dad.
Cool.
He gave it to me for Christmas when I was like 54 years old before he passed away. But so I keep that unwrapped under the tree every year, and it actually ended up being way more special than I thought it was when I got it.
That's super cool. That's super cool.
So, The Christmas Story, based on a book from 1966 called In God We Trust, Another Pay Cash by Gene Shepard. The movie itself was released in 1983 and was directed by Bob Clark. Actresses in it was Melinda Dillon, Darren McGavin, Peter Billingsley. The movie itself, when it came out, was a flop. Yep. It was not a box office success. It was actually, I think they tried to release it twice, and both times I don't think it paid out. It wasn't until Ted Turner bought TBS and ran it 24 hours on TBS, which was a super station. If you had a basic cable system, you had it, that people picked it up, watched it, embraced it, and then the lore where it came.
Yeah.
The other thing too is I don't think the Red Ryder BB gun was a real thing until they said it's a Red Ryder BB gun, and then one of the Daisy, I think, picked it up and made a Red Ryder BB gun. But it doesn't matter. I mean, every kid wanted a BB gun growing up. Yeah.
Yep. So that's my number 2.
So my number 2 was It's a Wonderful Life. Let me see here.
While you're looking, you challenged the notion that Russ in Christmas Vacation was played by Johnny Galecki, who's in
Big Bang Theory?
The Big Bang Theory.
And it was?
That's who it is. Yeah.
Wow. So It's a Wonderful Life was released in 1946, so it was a post-war movie. Had Jimmy Stewart, Donna Reed, who I believe is from Denison, Iowa, Lionel Barrymore, Drew Barrymore's grandpa, and Uncle Billy, Thomas Mitchell, and Henry Travers as Clarence. Who was Mr. Potter? Oh, well, Lionel Barrymore was Mr. Potter. So this movie for me is great. My kids would not watch it until pretty recently because it was in black and white. But it's directed by and produced by Frank Capra. And it really is a touching movie and really makes you kind of take stake in what you had. People were coming out of World War II. People were coming home. There were a lot of people. Some people didn't have jobs. Some people were going through a great deal of, shell shock and having go through some pretty heavy stuff. And this movie really kind of scratched the itch for a lot of servicemen that were kind of in a desperate place. So, but that's my number 2, and I will watch it just about every time it's on. I'll stop whatever I'm doing, or at least leave it up on the television.
You mentioned the snow they had to bring in for Christmas Story. It's a Wonderful Life was filmed on a soundstage in California. The budget, they must have gone over on the fake snow in that movie because there is more fake snow in that movie. It's unbelievable how deep the snow is. And then the other thing is the swimming pool scene. Beverly Hills High School in California, it looks exactly like it did in the movie, and the basketball court splits apart, and the pool's still there. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, that had to have been like really super, super innovative at that
High
time.
tech, the snow,
On if you're playing from home, where Christmas Vacation, they're getting ready to go to the mall.
Clark's stuck in the attic.
Yeah, Clark's stuck in the attic.
It's fine. I got to take my back pills. I got to eat.
I need to eat.
We missed the part where all the grandparents were in the beds, their assigned bed.
Yeah.
And her parents are in bunk beds.
Yeah.
And he's on the top bunk, and there's a poster behind him of 2 tortoises having sex. And then above him, there is a picture of a half-naked woman.
It's Cariotis.
Cariotis.
Yeah.
And he's just laying in bed in the top bunk looking up at this poster.
Yeah, it's fantastic. He's staring at it. Yeah.
So, all right. So I will do my next movie, which is Polar Express. This is a Tom Hanks vehicle, which is, I think, has just about every single person in it's Tom Hanks, the conductor. So I will tell you why this is so important to me and why I like it. First of all, it hit my boys at about the right time when they were growing up, and they liked it, and they liked the story, they liked the animation, they liked the illustration looks like real humans. My guess is it was early, I don't know, AI, but it's, they were able to kind of make people look real. So I like it because I have very good memories of my kids with this. But the other thing I like about this, the last part of it, where, kids will hold the bell up and go like that. And some kids think the bell is broken, but the kids that still believe can still hear the bell ring. And I mean, I like that.
They threaded a real delicate needle with that movie because it was clearly intended for a children audience and some that would still believe in Santa, right?
Yeah.
And so they had to really tell that story in a delicate way, to leave it that way. And they did a great job with it. I would say, I'm sure 3 of my 4 kids will tell you it's their favorite Christmas movie. And we used to take it to IMAX theater, back when they were little. And that was awesome in that setting, to see Polar Express. And that saying it's a great movie.
Tom Hanks has done so much good stuff, man. He really is this heavyweight of a actor that's just kind of touched everybody's life. We're right now in the Vacation movie where he's watching black and white movies up in the attic, and it's
and that was the I Dream of Jeannie house in the background in black and white.
Yeah. So this was shot on lot.
It was. Yeah, it's the lot was recent. Like only a couple of years ago did they tear it down and repurpose it at Warner Brothers. But it's a famous studio lot. Shows like I Dream of Jeannie. I think Golden Girls, the house in that was on the same street of houses where all this stuff was filmed. Lethal Weapon. And then one of the hidden trivias or Easter eggs in Christmas Vacation is the original Vacation movie when Chevy Chase falls asleep and drifts off the highway and goes to a neighborhood. He goes between the Christmas store or Christmas Vacation house and the next house in that movie. So it appears in 2 Vacation movies, the Griswold house.
We're looking at Todd and Margot's house now. If you have a house that has a wall of glass brick, Brad wants to talk to you.
Was it my wife Becky has a house that she is in the process of selling that has that.
We might have to do something there.
Yeah, we were thinking about trying to connect Brad with it.
Brad, would you ever consider shooting like during the summer, like that swimming pool scene?
Yes,
or?
we've talked about that. Yeah, we would have to. If we're going to ever do the pool scene, we're going to probably have to do it. We've done in the earlier days when we weren't going kind of shot for shot side by side. My brother did the Cousin Eddie in the Speedos with the tank top, the white under tee, what some people call a wife beater. He's got that, and he's got his nose plugged, and he's got the flippers on. We did that, but we haven't done live action.
Right.
And I think we've got a potential location for that, but we'd have to do it in the summertime.
Well, I will tell you, and as somebody that works with video and audio and does some editing and has done video production in the past, I think it's just absolutely insane for you to pick a scene on Thanksgiving and then shoot it on Christmas Eve or whatever. I mean, if this were my thing, you would have a drop dead date of October 1st, and then we would have it shot by Thanksgiving and then re-edit by Christmas.
The girls, again, all credit to them. They do a phenomenal job of editing, and they've now started to produce. I think if you guys watched, if you followed the post last year, we did a live action shot in front of the house where they're singing the Star Spangled Banner, or they're doing kind of the
Pledge of Allegiance.
The Pledge of Allegiance thing. No, it was a Star Spangled Banner. So we're doing that in front of the house. But so we shot that, but my niece made a fantastic behind the scenes video of all the prep, and she went around the house. And
so beyond just actually shooting the scene, you're doing a behind the scenes.
And they threw it up live. So we do it in extreme time pressure. Oh, what I was going to say is there are some, I would probably put my wife in this category, and probably my brother Brent's wife, Jill. They put up with the fact that we have this production, but it's like, this is Christmas, dinner's ready. Why don't you guys get this over with? Why are you still messing around? You don't need to do 5 shots. My brother Brian and I, who kind of take this way seriously, are like really trying to dial in the lighting, and we're moving things around the house. And my mom, God bless her, has gotten on board with it because she knows it's a thing we do.
Right.
But there are moments where.
Meanwhile, the people that have $300 in food that want to serve it hot.
They've got pots boiling on and we're outside in the lawn trying to get the lighting right. So anyway, It does take over the evening, but we do keep it within an envelope that we shoot it, produce it, publish it, and then sometimes do it behind the scenes, all within maybe a 4 or 5 hour.
This gives me heartburn. I want to take Tums just him talking about
Aggressive
it.
schedule.
Here's the scene where he falls down the stairs. This one, why is the carpet all wet, Todd? That whole scene, that's a huge one we haven't tried to do because we haven't had the kind of the right environment for it.
Right. All right. Did anybody have any other movies that they wanted to talk about?
You guys did the kind of the old school ones. I would I would submit a few more contemporary movies that if you haven't seen, I would recommend that are decent. Like a more recent one, the most recent Christmas movie that I saw is called The Holdovers. Have you guys seen this? Mm-mm. So it's, oh my gosh, what's the name of the guy? The guy that was in the movie about wine, or the wine movie. What was that called? Oh God, now I'm forgetting.
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti is this crusty old professor at this private school. And it's Christmas time, and he's assigned to stay on campus and supervise the kids that don't have a place to go.
Right.
So they don't go home for Christmas break. So he's got to look after them, and it's a comedy, but it's also kind of poignant because he's like this kind of crusty, lonely guy, and it's really good.
Yeah.
It's like it's pulling from Christmas Carol.
A little bit, yeah. And the Paul Giamatti character, the professor character, has this ailment where he smells like garbage, like kind of bad cabbage. Okay. And I think there's a real ailment like this where your glands make you smell like garbage. So there's all of this stuff that these people have to tolerate. And he's kind of a
drunk.
Yeah, he's a drunk, and he's kind of a grumpy dude.
He hands out Marcus Aurelius as a Christmas, like every year. He's got like, I don't know how many copies of Marcus Aurelius's, oh God, now I'm going to forget the name of it, Meditations. And so but he becomes close with these kids. He kind of has a little fun. He lets them go off campus. They drink some beers. He goes to a party. It's a good show. The other real quick, more recent one that I would submit, and it's not one that I really got the first time. You were kind of talking about, you have to watch. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to watch them a few times. So my wife is a huge fan of a movie called The Family Stone. Have you seen it with Diane Keaton?
Nope.
And Craig Nielsen and Luke Owen, I think it is, and Claire Danes, and the Carrie Bradshaw character. Anyway, it's an interesting kind of...
It's a Christmas show?
It's a Christmas show, yeah. Huh.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I think the one that's worth talking about is Elf.
Yeah, I had that on my list.
It's got to be on a top 5 list, I would think, for Christmas movies.
Yeah, that's on my list.
It's another belief movie, kind of like Polar Express. You know, you've got to... Do you have enough belief for Christmas? And
yep, absolutely. Good.
Is it the Dinklage? What's the actor from the author in that?
The short person.
Yeah.
I can't think of his. Yes, he's great.
Freaking
he
great
was so good.
Movie.
He was so good. And the guy from Conan that was just on Dancing with the Stars. Oh yeah,
there's a commercial for it we could skip. But and written by Jon Favreau, which I believe he also wrote Four Christmases or directed Four Christmases.
Oh, did he?
So
okay,
he's really pretty powerful in the genre. And I think the other maybe final Christmas classic that we haven't talked about yet is Die Hard.
Right.
Yeah.
So is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not? John, you actually were out in L.A. around Christmas time, and I didn't realize the buildings the building is actually
Plaza.
there.
It's actually there. It's not nearly as tall as it appears in the movie, and it backs up to Warner Brothers. So a lot of the footage they were filming, it worked well using that building because they were on stage set and whatnot, and then the building's right outside. But yeah, of course, I'm a bit of a movie buff, a movie scene buff, so I had to detour over to Nakatomi Plaza and take a picture when I was there for Christmas.
All right, so let's first, one of the two of you, please do just a 50,000 foot recap of what the plot of Die Hard's about.
Who wants it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so international terrorists invade the Christmas party for the name of the company. I guess it's at Nakatomi Plaza, so right. I guess that's the Christmas company, right? And then separated from his wife, down on his luck, trod New York City detective, which is a familiar story for anyone that's been in law enforcement, coming across country to
Bruce
see
Willis.
The ex-wife.
Yeah.
Yep, and shows up in his... I guess he ended up in a limo, right? So he ended up in a limousine. But anyway, he shows up just in time to intervene when this international terrorist plot is unfolding at the high-rise building, and away we go. He goes in unarmed, loses his shoes and socks, and has
Right.
nothing but the pack of smokes in his pocket and has to improvise.
Right.
And lo and behold, he does.
I think it's the first time that people kind of realized that there are like air handling systems and you could punch through a drywall and
Yeah.
like just about everything about a
Yeah.
building. I don't think that there was a place in the building that he didn't go, stepped on glass, but that didn't seem to bother him later on in the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Explosions. But the whole part of the argument of whether or not this is a Christmas movie is it happens during Christmas. It's a
Yeah.
Christmas party.
I'll tell you, the most real people will say it's a phony movie, fake movie. Not that can really happen. The most realistic part of that movie is that Los Angeles beat cop trying to have a coffee at 7-Eleven and having to go to that alarm call and just packing it in and saying, "There's nothing here. I'm going back in service."
Right.
I've seen that play out 1,000 times.
Well, we'll let all you guys decide whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie on our Facebook page. So the Deep Dive Pod Facebook group. So, all right, boys, are you ready for a quick speed round?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So television movies were an important part of our childhood. We're going to do a quick speed round here. Some of these are yes or no, and some are fill in the blank. So this first question comes from the movie It's a Wonderful Life. The cop, Bert, who was Ward Bond, and the taxi driver, Ernie, who was Frank Fairlane. True or false? The Sesame Street characters, Bert and Ernie, were named after this police officer and taxi driver.
Yes. True.
True.
It is false.
Okay.
It's widely kind of believed that it is, but both people that were attached to writing the movie and people that were involved in Sesame Street said no. It was just
Coincidence?
a coincidence, and yeah. So
That's because Bert, the actor that played him, was so jaundiced. It's amazing.
and had a pointy head. Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, was actually paired with another reindeer called Brutus, and Montgomery Ward was concerned about the image that Brutus had, so he was removed. True or false? There was another reindeer paired with Rudolph. In 1939, Montgomery Ward was worried that Brutus would give a bad image, so they took Brutus out.
I can believe that. I'm going to go true.
Yeah, I can believe that too.
That is false.
Are we over 2?
I don't know.
Right on point.
Right.
Okay.
The famous elf that wanted to be a dentist in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was named
Oh, man. Don't know. Can't remember.
Buddy.
Hermie.
Hermie.
Yeah. In the movie A Year Without Santa, which was a stop-action movie,
Yes.
these two brothers pined for the attention of Mother Nature. What were these two brothers named?
Heatmeister and Freezemeister.
Mm-hmm.
Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
Oh,
Snow
okay.
miser. All right.
Hey, Mr. Heatmeister.
The little girl who was always optimistic and wanted to accompany Frosty to the North Pole was named
Wild ass guess. Penny?
Ruby.
Karen.
Okay.
Last but not least,
I like that you said Karen.
it's a bonus show. What are you paying for, kids?
Karen.
So, last but not least, in 1978, CBS wanted to keep cashing in on the Star Wars franchise. So, they had a Star Wars holiday special in which all of the original members were part of, and they wanted to get Chewbacca back to his planet to celebrate what holiday?
Is it a real holiday or is it?
I'm going to say Chanukah.
New Year's.
It is called Life Day. If you have not seen it, it is out there. The Star Wars holiday special has Art Carney. It has B. Arthur. It has, I think it has red buttons. It has, it's a real vaudevillian who's who.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of film watching to do between now and next year, maybe.
It's,
Bone up on some stuff.
yeah, it's not bad.
There's some good YouTube clips of that Star Wars holiday special. And one real quick last minute thing. Last episode or a couple episodes ago, we recommended you go to YouTube and look at Battle of the Network Stars,
Yes.
Gabe Kaplan.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Do yourself a favor and also search for Ed Asner Tug of War Battle of the Network Stars, and you will not be disappointed. That'll just be a stocking stuffer for you. A shirtless Ed Asner on the beach.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us. Your bonus show, our gift to you. Thanks for watching on Christmas Vacation with us. Hope you have a good one, and we will talk to you later.